This week at Carroll Lutheran Village, we are going to be featuring our Miso Flank Steak with Asian Slaw. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to get together our steak marinade. So what we have here is our miso paste, which basically is a Japanese flavoring. It's a fermented soybean paste, and you just want to put some of that in your bowl. We're going to mix this all around. We also have some sesame oil. We have some sesame seeds. Put a little bit of those in there. We have some low sodium soy sauce. And we have some ginger. Dried ginger is just fine. And we also have just a little bit of regular canola oil. So you want to mix that up really good. Make sure the miso is mixed in well. And it tends to be pretty strong, so you don't need a whole lot. So you want to incorporate that thoroughly. And then we're going to put that on our flank steak, and we're going to refrigerate it overnight. This actually works really good on skirt steak. If you want to do a skirt steak, you could also do this on a strip loin as well. But we're going to take that miso marinade, and you can see we don't want to soak it. We just want to put a little bit on there. And I like to kind of turn it over and do both sides. And it's best when it sits overnight, it tenderizes. So we'll put that in the fridge, and then we'll work on our slaw. So now we're going to put together our Asian slaw. The first thing we're going to do is make the dressing for it. Again, we have a little bit of sesame oil. And I like to always add some regular either vegetable or canola oil to it because sesame tends to be pretty strong. We've got some sugar. Put a little bit of sugar in there. And I've also got some rice wine vinegar. If you don't have rice wine vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar. That works well too. And this is just a basic slaw recipe with no mayonnaise in, just a vinaigrette. And I like to put a little sesame in there as well. Just stir that up. You can see that's just kind of coming together here. And we're going to set that aside for a little bit, and then we're going to put the rest of our vegetables in with our cabbage. So we have some shredded white cabbage here. We've got some shredded carrots. I like to put some red onion in there, so we're going to just slice that really thin julienne. And you can skip the red onion if you don't like the onion in it. You don't have to do that. I'm going to kind of put that in there like that. Just nice thin slices because you don't want to bite into a big chunk of red onion. And then we have some red pepper too. I also like to put some red pepper in that as well. So we're going to same thing again, nice julienne strips, nice and thin so it's easy to eat. I'm going to put that in there, and then we'll add our shredded carrots. Alright, so then we're going to put our shredded carrots in. You can see how colorful that looks there in the bowl. And we come back to our dressing here. We're going to pour that on the top. You can see how that's just going in the bowl really nice. We're going to mix that up. We're going to let that sit in the fridge. And this actually works pretty good. You can let it sit in the fridge overnight. It really intensifies in flavor. But I just like to do it a few hours ahead of time. Stir that up. And you don't want to soak it with a lot of the liquid. You just want to lightly coat it. Because as the cabbage sits, it's going to water out a little bit, and you're going to get a nice flavor. You get in there with your hands and stir it all up. It looks so fresh. and colorful. All right. Now we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. We're going to go grill our flank steak, and then we're going to come back and put our plate together. All right, we've grilled our flank steak, as you can see. We did a nice medium, and now we are going to slice it down real thin and serve it with our slaw. So we'll put that down on the cutting board there, and you always want to slice against the grain. And I like to cut those end pieces off. They tend to be tough. And it's nice thin slices against the grain. Always want to keep it nice and thin. And the marinade that this flank steak is in always makes the meat so tender. And like I said, this works really good for a skirt steak or a New York strip steak as well. We're going to put our plate together. You can see the slaw here as it set. It got kind of watery, so that's good. You want it to be like that. You can see how nice that is, and I just like to use my hands. I'm going to put some of that down on your plate. You can see like that. And then we're going to lay our flank steak right on the top of it, just like that. And then we've also got these lovely fresh herbs from a local farm here in Westminster. We're going to put some of those wasabi greens on there, just on the top, and you want to do this right when you're ready to serve this dish. Gives it a little pop of flavor. All right, and this is our miso flank steak with Asian slaw.